Good morning. Welcome to Laurel Park. Happy 1st of April, April Fool's Day.
April Fool's
Start
Day.
of the spring
Yeah.
meet as well. I promise we'll try and keep the jokes down to a minimum. I'm looking at you here, Keith.
That's me. That's me. Always the jokester. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, looking forward to getting started here with this spring meet. We got 9 races on tap, but before that, of course, we are looking ahead towards the Preakness Stakes. We have quite the lineup in terms of artists: Marshmallow, Frank Walker, the Chain Smokers. So many big names. Moneybag, Yo, I do believe Chain Smokers, of course, NBC live broadcast, but as usual, quite the stellar lineup for that party in the infield. So don't miss out. Go to Preakness.com, go to infieldfest.com to get your tickets, because this is a festival that you don't want to miss.
Yeah, we'll bring some samples of that music, right? In between races, maybe we'll do that leading into Preakness, so you can kind of get accustomed to the artists that we're going to have out there in the infield.
Exactly. Well, let's have a look at the current track conditions. Like I said, we've got 9 races coming your way. Currently, we are muddy. We've had some rain coming over. Remember, it was storming a little bit. But look, the track is looking like it's going to try out, right?
Yeah, we've had some winds too. The car was kind of getting blown all over the highway on the drive in. So I think there's a good chance we'll get to good as the day goes on, and we'll get that track harrowed. But right now, we'll start muddy. We're going to start muddy and sealed.
Of course, we'll keep you abreast if anything changes when it comes to the track conditions. Let's start with race number 1. That's also the start of that early pick 5, like we've come accustomed to, claiming $12,500 to $10,000. 1 turn, 1 mile, the distance here. And look, similar horses we got here, Keith. We'll start with your top selection here. Other things equal, who I use underneath, drops back down from start allowance. Hasn't really found his groove just yet for the Gorham stable.
No, he has not. But we've got a rider, Yana Viles, 7-pound apprentice rider. He's winning some races, and he likes to be up front. He lets his horses roll. There's not a lot of speed in here. I'm just banking on that. Going to get a little bit of better price, I believe, on the 5, all things equal. We saw Gorham a few weeks ago scored a big price with an upset winner there, going 7/8 of a mile. That was Even Thunder. We're going to see that one this weekend as well. But, I think maybe the controlling speed. Yeah, disappointing 2 return tries. Maybe getting to the front, a little confidence will get him back on his game.
Yeah, I do think my top selection has a bit of speed too for Jamie Nessa. Bellarmine Hall, of course, we do have a couple of scratches in here, including Celtic Treasure, who probably would have been one of the speedsters early. So I thought perhaps Bellarmine Hall can try and get back into his groove as well. Bit of a subpar performance at Parks after going wide. But he returns to Laurel. He's posted solid figures in the past.
He has some numbers that kind of go all over the map to me. He's a really kind of a tough horse to figure. Sometimes he's a little more keen. Sometimes he just lags back. So I don't know. Silent Malice, I don't think he's going to be as far back as what he was last time going the 7/8. I like the quote-unquote reserved comment and the longer comment of the footnote. If you go back and read those, please do here. Gives you a little extra information that we can't fit into the short comment. Came on late. This horse loves the mile, loves the 1-turn mile at Laurel. So I think he stays in touch, and he might have the best sustainable run at this distance, but he looks like he's tailed just a touch.
I use him on these because I think he loves the mile, especially the way he made up ground last time. I was 7 furlongs, but like you said, perhaps not at his top yet, so kind of the top any longer. Now, of course, a 5-year-old, but see if he'll get back to it. Has one on the off going before. There's a couple in here that do just fine translate their form to the muddy surface, so no concerns there.
Agreed.
Race number 2. So I said early pick 4. You return to your usual sequence.
Yeah, we're trying. I mean, we are trying. Trust me. These races are tough, Naomi.
They are. Yep.
And with what we try to limit our tickets to, I'm hoping some people can add here or there, because we've been very close. We'll be connecting. Trust me. 2-3 get you started. Prince of Portland and Krug. You could maybe. I kind of like the 5 as a little bit of a long shot if you can afford it. Race 3, 2, 3, and 5. Harper's Due Ice Reply, Miracle Mischief. 3 deep in the 4th. Our Lucky Man. Let's hope he comes out of the gate a little bit better today. Image Maker, real sharp effort last time out. Has to be used in the 4th. Wrap it up with the 2, 3, and 9. Firster for Perkins here this afternoon. 7/8, tricky distance for a couple of these first-time starters. Yes.
Yeah, you never really know what they're going to do when making the debut, going just a touch longer than the usual 6, 5.5 that we kind of see them go. So yeah, it's not the easiest of days today when it comes to those deeper tickets. I saw you do $27 early pick 4. Probably worth investing that, because you might just get a price or so. You want to spread out a little bit. Race number 2 is a claiming $10,000 to $8,000 event, mile and 16 distance. I landed on the horse that we're also going to look back at his last outing for trainer Dale Capuano, the number 3 Krug. He won on last occasion at the same level, claiming $10,000 to $8,000, and he had enough speed to kind of come over from the 5 draw towards the rail, showed willingness to kind of let a long shot take the lead. I thought that was very encouraging, that he didn't need the lead necessarily like he's shown in the other occasion. Really broke quite a bit at the top of the lane, and you could see he's really had to work for it to get through, and really puts his head down.
Yeah, they weren't going terribly fast, slow things up, and he had to kind of wait there a little bit. Anyway, coming to the top of the stretch. Love the grinding run. The Spug Rider has some talent. I like the way he rides. He's not afraid to stay in there, be patient, wait for things to develop, can finish on a horse, gets the job done, right back at the same level of Factor. Certainly going to 2 turns, I think that might be even a little easier trip for Krug. Number, it's interesting, comparatively time-wise, not a huge edge. Buyers, yes, and even the track variants weren't that different. So interesting to see the way, Andy looked at that with the Fig, but I think this horse right back is going to be tough. Money Code came out of there. He's run well. I think he was like a 64 prior, so the number works there. It pairs up. Prince of Portland, though, I think is ready to come back and run a better effort. A little softer group today, can handle this distance. Another patient ride in store for Boyce to make that steady progression just off of it.
Yeah, I think he's going to find these foes a touch bit easier than when he went up against Lawson. So I use him underneath for that reason. I use Illustrious on the outside. Jana Villis also taking off that 7 pounds, was able to convert a fast pace or an honest pace into a win last time at the maiden claiming level, despite sort of being part of it from the get-go. First time, of course, against winners is always a bit of a step up, but his figure works in here, and I love that he really relished that 1-turn mile. I think with his tactical ability, look, he's got a high draw, but it's a smaller field. I think he'll be able to at least sit handily or come over and try and take them all the way.
Yeah, this is a tricky little race. I think outside the top 2, if you're looking for that bigger price, I threw the 5 into the mix. Don't forget the blank. Maclovia Enriquez Jr. to ride. Okay, try it, Charlestown. Snow Candy is back on the improve for Farrier, so kind of maybe not knock that last race. Stretching out for the first time, half sibling. Had plenty of good efforts going a route of ground. So sneaky little price play there with the 5. Don't forget to blink.
Yeah, for John Salzman Jr., the stable has been consistently hitting throughout the meet. Of course, we start a new meet today. We come in here with plenty of fun. But I agree, first time stretching out here, I think that could actually work for this individual in comparison to some of the others that are really sort of finding their form again. So I use them for that reasoning as well. Race number 3, maiden claiming event here, maiden 16 to 12,500, 1-turn 1 mile the distance here. We have another video spotlight. Both of us are on board with the number 2 Harper's Due for trainer Hamilton Smith. In that last week, he sat behind the field, found a path going sort of the shortest way home, as you see here, switched out to kind of get to the foe, eagerly was getting closer to him. To be honest, that was a race deserving of a win. Now, he didn't get the win, but comes back in here to hopefully get his picture taken today.
Yeah, and got good education, Naomi, in the debut. Really galloped out strong. If you watch that debut run, my man Joe Gass picked me up on that one. He said, take a look, and he was correct. Now, coming back, just a little bit of issue there. Coming to the 8th ball, shifted out, came on quite strong, kept on well. Breeding suggests should be able to handle an off track and a route of ground. Boy, I needed that guy at 12 to 1. That would have been a good score that day. But here we go with Hammy. It's not a huge win percentage, but I like the ROI. Hammy Smith, last 3 years on the dirt, 5 for 36, only 14%, but 50% in the money with the maiden claimers going sprint to route. ROI 314. He is ready to make the next step. She is, I should say. 2 sprints. Now let's stretch out. Let's go.
Yeah, and the way that she ran through the wire suggests that she could at least go a furlong further. So let's hope the Mawa suits her just as well. You used the number 3, Icy Reply. I didn't get her. Stays at the same level. Also stretches back out. She has gone longer before. Hasn't really showed sort of the willingness in my books just yet. So hence I didn't get to her.
Still a big barn change. First Lasix last time. The blinkers go back on. Rodolfo Sanchez Salaman. He's had a pretty good run here of late, but he's 31% second off the claim. 10 for 37 the last couple of years on the dirt. That's pretty good. ROI of 387 comes out of that same race. She didn't quite show the speed I thought. I think with the blinkers, you're going to see her forwardly position and step up here second off the claim for this barn.
No doubt she's interesting in this spot because of all the changes. I use Embraced Winnie in my exacta. She drops down from the maiden 25 to the maiden 16 in for the tag for the first time. So a bit more of an aggressive campaigning for the Trombetta barn. She steps up in distance. She wasn't that comfortable comfortable with the pace on both of her starts. She was closer last time out, but they didn't go that fast. So I feel like for her, stretching out might just mean that she can find herself. I hope that this works for her. Look, it's a bit of a reach, but I thought I wanted to try and get some value, and I think Michael Trombetta, you know, he does pretty well with sprinter route. He's kind of average percent, about 13%. So I'm taking a chance here.
It's one of those horses, you see it all the time. I call them like tweeners. You just can't figure out exactly what the right fit distance is. It a mile? Is it 7/8? Who knows? Right, a little bit closer to that pace last time.
Yeah.
Drop might get her top. Miracle Mischief, talking about a horse that should love the off track if this track stays wet. Buy into Mischief out of a broken Val mare. First time here, off a little break for Patty Fair and Acclaim Racing Stable at Barn. It's won year after year. Sprinter route, look at that number, 30% with an ROI close to $3. Up to a little bit cooler weather, might like that. Should be forward. A lot of ways to kind of go here in the third. I'm going to key around the 2 and the 3 in my exactas and use quite a few of these underneath. There's not a horse I can really toss. I hate to say it if I'm playing the exactas. I don't want to miss. Even Texas Girl, who got bet down in debut, got in a great position off of a duel, just didn't kick on. Barnes good second out.
Yeah, this is a wide open field. I think Miracle Mischief, the more I look at her, she's really interesting. Like you said, comes over, get that cleaner air, is bred to like the off-going here. So why not take a try on her? Angel Cruz takes the ride. Race number 4, optional claim starter allowance. 1 turn, 1 mile the distance here. And video spotlight on the horse that you have in your exacta. I landed on him. 5-year-old gelding, just in the nick of time. We go back to his last race where he was 2 wide into the first, and that was a mile 16. Slipped sort of behind the pacemaker, was part of that honest flow, and he started to move up around the turn. You can see there the eye-catching grey rolling down the middle of it. Really battled for it. Not a real loss in defeat there. He worked for it. Yeah,
floated out a little bit top of the stretch, makes this run into a heavy favorite, and just couldn't quite get the job done. Assembly points, a horse in very good form for Lacey Gaudet. We're going to see that horse over the weekend, facing a little tougher, but holding good form just in the nick of time. That was a big effort. I mean, basically off of a top. Can he pair that effort up? He's tactical. With the scratch of Askin, a Baskin, and here's Waldo. You know, the flow is going to be maybe a little bit more relaxed, so that's going to enhance his chances. Boy, he was dead game to the wire, but I go Image Maker. I did not see that race coming. Right back, ran a 77, big jump up against kind of a key horse, Tate, who's got a little hang in him. Tate will hang, no doubt about it. He's going to be a short price.
We've been following Tate around.
We know Tate, but this horse relaxed comfortably. Prompted and kick clear. I think right back. It was a good final quarter for Image Maker. Right back for me, 3-5-5-3. The real question mark. He's had some issues coming out of the gate, but now he's inside.
That was the key for me here. I use in my exacta because both times he had the outside draw is when he ducked out and kind of stopped, nearly dropped, I think, Johanna the first time he did it. Inside draw might just mean that he gets some guidance from the other horses. Rail on his inside, horses on his outside. That could keep him close. Look, if he turns up, he's got figures that could best this field for sure, but are you going to take a chance on a horse that you just don't know if he's deciding that today is the day? I think the draw helps him here instead of being on the outside. If he was on the outside, I would have just gone, I'm gonna hold on with you here. He's got a mind of his own. That's for sure. That was race number 4. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back with race 5 through 9. Really get you excited there for Preakness 147 coming up. Race number 5 is a maiden special weight event for the ladies, straight 3-year-olds, going 7 furlongs the distance. Look, the number 3 Sensen is a filly who I've been following since she made her debut in the summer of 2021. I was all aboard last time out, and I believe she's much overdue her win. She was on the speed going that sharp 5.5. There's no time to let up. She was all out. I felt like she ran a terrific race on the day. You can see ears pinned back. I hope today's going to be her day. She's stretching out to the 7th. Of course, that is a little bit of a question mark, but at least the pace will be a fair bit softer for her to see it out.
Great horse race right there. Love it. That was a Damon Dilla DeVico firster, right? That got bet down.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Senson's come back. I knew I was talking to one of my buddies. I said, I know who she's going to take in this race. She's got a soft spot for Senson.
I really love Senson.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I mean, for Senson. and arrogant, looking at Lucky. Extra ground. That's what we've talked about. We're waiting for this horse for her to get a little bit more ground. She gets it today. Dead game.
By
Good jump up. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I think she's gonna be just fine on or just off the pace. Dawnland, throwing the 2 in there just for the fact that I think you might get a little bit of price for Brittany Russell. It's hard to find a price there. The odd thing is she did not get any play down at Colonial Downs, but against Lunabelle. That's interesting. Came back Delaware, no good, but retooled. Mm-hmm. This is the stat that kind of got me, though. Smaller sample. She's 4 for 7 as Brittany Russell was 3-year-olds coming off over 180-day layout.
Yeah.
The ROI of 314. So a chance to get a little price. You have to use Senson. This firster's going to draw play as well, Elk Lodge.
Yeah, I looked at the first to Elk Lodge. Munnings is a good 16%. First time out was 3-year-old. Half-brother True won on first asking at Monmouth with a 80 buyer as a 3-year-old. Then didn't proceed to do as much, but still, if Elk Lodge can run anything similar to that, eye-catching sharp workout in the AM. Bullet and bullet and bullet. Look, gotta make it happen here, but drawn further towards the outside, which I kind of prefer towards that inside draw. But look, I agree with you on Dawnland as well, Brittany Russell trainee, based on all the stats that are in the Russell Bond favor.
Yeah, agreed. Hopefully get a price. Back to Perkins real quick with Elk Lodge. You see 7/8 of a mile today. He's got 2 3/4 works under her belt. If the moisture stays in, we know how Munnings is on and off track. The only kicker here, Perkins has done great with his firsters. I talked about this maybe a couple of out of town. Monmouth, Delaware. 7 for 28 the last 3 years with the firsters, 28%. But here, goose egg. He's trying to get back, into those winning ways. This horse is going to draw money. We got some other firsters with motion. I don't know how much time we got, but we're right around the 2,396.
Yeah, look, I always use a motion first that I feel underneath to complete your exotic wagers. They don't always win first time out. I don't believe that that's Graham's goal. He wants to give them some education, bring them along physically as well. I feel Wet My Beak might just be the case. But look, Fergal Lynch on board.
That's
Fergal and Motion. They love to partner up together, and they do tend to hit pretty decently. I've got them about 24% together.
Yes, and I going back, he was good with these horses, like 7/8 a mile first time out. The last couple of years, not so much. But this mare was good. She won debut. This is her first foal, but she won first out. She's a graded stakes type of mare. Union Rags, no, he's not, really precocious, these offspring. But, man, you don't see these motion horses usually firing this fast in the morning, right? It's not something I always see.
True.
So tab the toad a little bit there on motion.
I could keep your eye out on Wet My Beak. Aside from Elk Lodge as well as being probably the two firsts that everyone's going to key around here. We got another first for trainer Michael Trombetta, but race number 6 claiming 16 to 12.5 thousand there, 6.5 furlongs the distance. And let's have a look at your top selection here. Look, I felt like this race was wide open. This is a 3-year-old and up. No one is a 2 lifetime. I landed on the number 4, but you landed on number 2 on Common Valor. Trainer Jose Corrales just stepped slightly back down to the claiming 16, competed at allowance level. That was a bit too deep for this runner. Came back at the start at allowance level, was very game early, was right there. Burned up a little bit.
I think he needs to be rated back a little bit more. There's not a lot of true speed in here. I think Triple Tito's has got to go from the inside all summer. Will be forward, as will Disputed Notion. But Uncommon Valor is just, I hope he's just not discouraged off of his last couple. His numbers are competitive. He's run against better. If he gets back into like that 3 or 4 back fake and relaxes early, he'll bring a finish, I think, against this group. But you're right. I've got it written up top here, Naomi. Tricky race. This is a tricky race.
I went back and forth on this race. I think I actually left it for the next morning to go back to, because I was just going, there's so many ways to go. I landed on All Summer. Good bit of tactical ability, stretching out to that mile and 16. Just an unknown factor in a way with him, stretching out here. I like the consistency. Look, in terms of the figures, it works in here as well. There's a couple of horses with a bit more back class than this runner, but I'm taking a horse that seemingly is in decent shape. steps runs well at similar levels here, and hopefully I can get a bit of a price.
You could probably say he's run consistently faster, right? For the most part, he looks like he's going the right way. And I like the comment, we've got game second. You know, he was beaten 5.
Yeah.
Game second means visually he was still running. He was still trying hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to help his chances.
I'm going with a little bit of consistency and performance in comparison to some that are just finding their form. I use the number 6 Tyler time underneath as well. And you mentioned triple Tito's, and you're exact who I use also. I think we know that the game plan with triple Tito's will probably be to at least stay as close as possible, right, the entire way.
I messed up that morning line on him last time. That was terrible. He went off 6-1. I sat there on the board. I said, "Who are they betting?" I mean, yeah, I can see us. He got no play, just absolutely dead on the board. Didn't quite show enough speed for me, but I think maybe a new barn to step up. They're going to have to send. Yeah, Tyler time. How about Brandon McFarland at that big price the other day? That horse that boosted the exact from off the pace.
Yeah, it comes back after a small layoff. Has also shown figures when running against Maiden Claiming Company, that to be exact, but. Just taking a shot with a couple of horses that seemingly are still on the upward curve.
Don't blame me.
See how we go here in race number 6. It is wide open. I'd probably go to the paddock and have a look and say who looks the best in the paddock and see if I can make a little play on that. But
that's good.
I would key around the 4 just because I like him in this spot. Jana Villi's taking some weight off as well, which helps for the mile 116. The longer you go, it definitely makes a bit of a difference. Okay. Race number 7 is a restricted allowance here, mile 116, the distance as well for fillies and mares 3-year-old and up. It's of course Maryland bred and Maryland sired event. And look, you landed on Click to Confirm for Rudy Sanchez Salomon, not completely disgraced in Stakes Company last and Beyond the Wire. Of course, Luna Bell just so too good on the day before started to kind of find her form again against the claiming 40 optional claimer type. So I feel like she's cycling back upwards. I use her underneath for that reason.
It's crazy when you're doing the morning line as your odds maker. You know, everybody thinks it's so easy. Please don't. You know, be nice. Be nice to all of your morning line makers. Be nice to everybody out there because we all get a lot of abuse, and some guys work hard at it. And I'm one of them. But yeah, you get 53-1 last time. Today you might get 9-5. So that's always tough when you're trying to make sense of everything. But it's the time of year. We've got the 3-year-olds now, Naomi, facing the older. If I've got a 3-year-old in form, I'm hedging that way. It's like athletes going through their high school years and college. They're getting better. The talent's there. The junior or senior might be flattening out. I think this horse is on the improve. I think she sets up shop just outside of Mitt Mazel, goes on the attack and gets it done.
Yeah, I take Mitt Mazel. I know you were talking about the weight allowance with 3-year-olds. She's a 4-year-old, but she gets J-Ron Barbosa, who made quite the impression on his first day riding at Laurel Park in there for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. She's run on the off-going before. Of course, we'll see around race 7 where we're at with that, but she's got the kind of running style that makes her very, very competitive in here. Look, there is a bit of speed on her inside, so I'm a little bit worried about that. For example, Click to Confirm might try and keep her out early, but look, Mitt Mazel, she's a very, very tough individual. I think she's gonna find this field to her liking. Look, not a big price, 2-1.
No.
She might just click
she
around with Click to Confirm
too.
In terms of favoritism. Yeah,
agreed.
I was thinking about that as well. But I think this is her race.
Okay, all right.
I use the number 4 as well. Good measure for trainer Graham Motion as we move on to race number 8. Nickel condition claimer there. 6 furlongs the distance. Let's start with the runner that we both use. Not on top, but we use it. The number 7, Tom Terrific. We look back a couple of races ago, February of this year, where he had an inside draw, came out, but just took sort of a slight misstep, went to the side, just stumbled around a little bit. You can see it here, and then just kind of bubbled down. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, good job by the jockey, Wesley Ho, to stay on board and got this horse into position. And that was the key why I used that horse that day at a good price at 7-1. Wesley Ho knows this guy. He knows how to ride. He worked out a trip here from off the pace. Just couldn't quite get it done. Boy, I thought we had it here at a good price. But, no, Mice and Men, just a little too good, who re-rallied in between horses to get up this day. But Tom Terrific, after that starter, nickel starter, too tough. Back here, I think reunited with Wesley Ho, got to use as that chance because there is plenty of speed to target in this race,
Agreed.
even with a couple scratches.
Agreed. Yeah, you landed on the number 9 extra medium for trainer Ferris Allen. Of course, before that trained Riccardo D'Angelo. Came out of that, was claimed out of his race 2 starts ago. Came back for the Ferris Allen barn. Did okay-ish. I wouldn't say that was one of his better races.
Yeah.
Now is getting back to the 6 furlong again as well. Just looking to see if they can get him back into shape. I use him underneath, just not entirely sure they'll be able to get the job done. But he has run the type of figures that would best this field for sure.
He maybe has seen his better days. I don't know. I'm going to give him one chance here because he was on the worst part of the racetrack. The 11th, you wanted to be wide. He was inside every step. Made a little run to mid-stretch before flattening. Yeah, Day the Music Died will be tough. Protected here with the waiver off the break. You've got that one.
Yeah, I use that one on top. I love Marius Ray horse coming on the back of a break. We know that he campaigns them quite heavily, so sometimes just freshening them up, meaning that this 7-year-old is going to kind of, come back towards his better figures, and I think that he can have them here. Very tenacious. Flow is there. He'll probably just lay handily. I like him in this spot. And then Little Ball Bandit. Both of us used on a full brother, of course, to Anna's Bandit. He's trained here by Jerry Robb. He's a bit of a speedball, like a bit of a chunky, stocky individual. Really likes to flash his speed early as well. Is the 6 still good enough for him? He hasn't won over the distance yet.
Yeah, and we'll see if the 1, Big Hambone, can come back and give that pressure like he did last time. And he got the 1 got the better of Little Bull Bandit.
Yep.
We'll see. Little Bull Bandit, we know though, getting the light, he's just going to go ahead and go see.
That's
how
his
far.
weapon.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to use.
He's going to fight you for a while. I know that.
He'll try and hang around here. Final race on the card today, race number 9, maiden claiming 16 to 12,500 1-turn mile for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Also a video spotlight here, I do believe. On the number 1, Uncle Jerome Villas takes juicy 7 pounds off again. Michael Gorham trade. Looked like I was watching this race, him going into the first turn. We didn't see that here, but he over-raced a little for the first part of the race. He might actually just be a bit more forwardly placed today. Sharp bit, though, for the lead when entering the lane. You can see him kind of wide, really looping the field.
He made that run up to it. Spritzer came back to run well on the race, and then that was first time gelding. So we could see an improvement. Then we're second off of a little bit of a break here. I just think he needs to avoid any issues the first maybe 1/8 of a mile, 3/16 of a mile. Just get position. Some questionable types here stretching. I think he can kind of move up. The number is there, the 56 buyer, so he's off of that, no. But I think you're going to see even a little bit better Uncle Jerome, a horse they liked early on. Only a $10,000 purchase, but was protected and made in special weights. Maybe the gelding was the key, but you used the term there, over race. Was he a little keen?
He was a little bit keen.
Okay.
Yeah, so kind of like Jamie Rodriguez was trying to rein him in, trying to slot him in. He wanted to move forward, and you could tell he wasn't very happy being asked to just, slow down a little. So that made me wonder, maybe he's more comfortable just being more forwardly positioned when it comes to some of the pace. Of course, depends on the pace, but the pace was honest enough, so I didn't think they were going overly slow early. So that made me kind of think that he might have expended some energy fighting the jockey in there. It wasn't overly bad. Jamie Rodriguez kind of, kept him to task. But sometimes you can see those little things that might make a difference.
And you see him almost in the running line, like almost a couple different moves. He's a little start, a little stop, and now just a cleaner trip, more relaxed trip. You'll see probably a better effort coming from him.
Yeah, I hope so anyway. I use the number 8 on top here, which is Johnny Swish. Stretching out getting back to the mile, He has gone longer in the past for training Jamie Ness. But look, Jamie Ness, when going from a couple of sprints, then back to routing, hits at about 32%. Seems to be a move that he's very comfortable with, knows how to prepare them. Loved how Johnny Swish was kind of finishing up his race 2 starts ago on the muddy surface. And then last time out, look, he tries, and I know at the maiden 16 levels, sometimes you just don't know if they're really going to put their best foot forward. Johnny Swish, seemingly in his last 2, has kind of said, all right, I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, we got the Final 4 in New Orleans, a little basketball turn. Johnny Swish, I like it. We'll miss a wish, but we'll use it as a basketball phrase. But I think this horse is a stayer up around the pace. Mr. Mosley, again, he is a mile kind of pushing it. It just might be. But again, rider helps. Forest Boys will be able to conserve, time it. it's going to be up to the horse. I mean, I don't think it's going to come to any fault of her. She's going to get this guy to relax and finish into it.
Yeah, she's very, very tactical. She really knows how fast she's going at any given points, especially around those routing trips, including this one turn mile. You've got to time it right. You don't want to be going on the bend when you still have to go to that second wire there. So Forrest Bush knows that like no other. We'll finish things up here with the races, but we got plenty to discuss in lightning round coming up. Happy Stronach 5 Friday. As usual, we do have the races coming your way again. And we kick the sequence off. Race number 9, our final race, commences the 5-race cross-country sequence. Santa Anita Park, race number 3, leg B. Leg C, Gulfstream Park, sandwich in the middle. And we turn to the great race place at race number 4, leg D, and then leg E. Golden Gate Field, kind of as usual. Golden Gate Field's the tough leg to get at the end of the sequence. But like every single week, this wager is supported. It pays out.
Yeah.
You want to be involved. You want to play this.
Called Golden Gate's the Punisher, right? The one that
it
really,
can be tricky,
that makes it tough on everybody.
Well, wonderful opportunity to really keep an eye out on the circuit and really get to grips with these different Stronach tracks.
That is the key. That's another beauty of the bet. And you see, our handle in some of those races too. That little boost. Everybody's paying a little extra attention, to those racetracks.
Absolutely. Yep. Look, we are gearing up for winning your in-event for the Preakness Stakes. The Federico Tessio is about 2 weeks and a day away. 4 stakes races, $450,000 in purses. Of course, the Weber City Miss as well. Prep race for the Black Eyed Susan. Fun day, and really signifies how close we are getting to that middle jewel of the Triple Crown.
Absolutely. I believe NOM's closed tomorrow for those stakes, if I saw that on the overnight correctly. So,
so keep
you
an
have
eye
it, NOM. Get going.
Absolutely. Of course, our sister track, Gulfstream Park, does have quite the race day tomorrow. Get ready for that Florida Derby day. Look, 100 points to the victor for the Kentucky Derby. It's a deep field. We see Classic Causeway come back, Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby victor. Simplification, of course, won the Fountain of Youth. There's quite some talent there. You have Charger for 20 Todd Pletcher, a newcomer here, broke his maiden last time out. White Abaria, Holy Bull winner. Look, this is a who's who when it comes to that Kentucky Derby trail.
It is. It's a horse, the way that track can kind of play. This pace is going to be honest. You talk about Charger and a lot of talent, lightly raced. See if he can take that next step. That's Pletcher, right, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You got Classic Causeway who wants to be fourth. Simplification worked out a great trip last time. Should work out another one again in the Florida Derby.
Absolutely. Really looking forward to that. That's race number 14 at Gulfstream Park. Plenty of stakes action to support that headliner, mile and 1/8 the distance. And we're also gearing up for Mother's Day. Come and join us on course May the 8th. And bring that special mum of yours to the track. Unfortunately, I can't. My mum's in the Netherlands, but I'll give her a call.
She's not in the greatest of health right now, but we've spent many a days at the racetrack together. Lots of fun times, lots of memories with my mom, no doubt about it. So if you can, treat mom.
I agree. It's a wonderful day. Last time when she was over here, she came to the track with me as well. And then she's been to Santa Anita Park. She's been to Meydan in Dubai. She's been to Windsor in England. She's been to Sydney as well, actually, when I was running at that. She's been able to go to a lot of different race days. So she's really enjoyed it. So I think it's a wonderful way to spend that Mother's Day. We'll wrap it up here with the lightning round. But of course, Dave Rotman will have plenty of scratches and changes. So make sure you write them all down. And best of luck.
You got it. Good luck, everybody.